Welcome back, everybody. It is Tuesday night, and that means another episode of Tech Talk Live with Jiles McCoy. Tonight, we've got a good one for you, and I'm even going to stream this guy over to Instagram. So if you guys are watching on YouTube and you want to flop over and check it out over there, please feel free because we will be live all over the place. Now, for tonight's topic, we will be covering one of the tech topics that's kind of near and dear to my heart, and something that I've been playing with for quite a long while now, and that is home automation. And I've been active in home automation, gosh, since the X10 days. Although I do admit that as of late, things haven't been quite as up to date for me as they could have been. So tonight we're going to talk about that. I'm going to be joined by a couple of people to help with the conversation. And Marv is with us. He says aloha from Honolulu. Welcome, Marv. Glad to have you here with us tonight. So first off, I want to introduce the co-host for the evening. So for folks that have watched the show over the last 2-3 years, you will recognize this gentleman. So I'm going to welcome back to the stage here, Mike. Mike, how are you doing, sir?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Good, man. I'm glad to have you on the show tonight. It's been a while. It's been a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, buddy. It has been a long time.
Right on. Yeah. If folks don't know, way back when, gosh, what were we doing? The Power of Sound podcast, the POS podcast back in the day.
Mhm.
That's a long time. Oh, all right. Now, to give us a little more, I don't know, weight for our opinion and conversations in this topic, we're bringing in a true pro, right? Oh my goodness, check this out. Mad Prana is back. What's up, Mad Prana? Glad to have you back in the audience. It's been a while. It's been a minute. But I'm going to welcome to the stage here Steve Higgins from a company called Shelly USA. Steve, welcome.
Hey, hi Giles, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Oh, glad to have you on. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are like, what the heck is a Shelly USA? Right? They're like, I don't know who this is. And what does it have to do with home automation? So I think maybe to kick things off, Steve, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, and then let's segue that into what the heck is Shelly USA and what does the company do?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Steve Higgins, I'm in Tampa, Florida. I actually work as a sales director for Shelly. Been in the CEDIA channel for about 5 years now, so heavily invested in home automation with the integrators and the dealers in that space. Worked in the CES realm for quite a bit too. So when it comes to Shelly, they are very much an IoT company. They'll make a lot of different devices that do a lot of different things. And I guess it's my job to kind of decide for what kind of works for everybody. So,
what is IoT for the uninitiated out there? When folks that hear the acronym, it means Internet of Things, but what does that really mean? What is an IoT device?
Yeah, so for me, IoT devices, they allow you to connect on cloud or connect on a different level, whether it's multiple languages, where it will be able to integrate with different, smart platforms, things like that. So for Shelly, we're big in the consumer market with Home Assistant, for example. So a lot of people like their Home Assistants, their Raspberry Pis, and they'll be able to use Shelly devices and plug them essentially straight in to their home and straight into their Home Assistant. But for those professionals in the CEDIA and VIXA channels, they can go native with a URC driver, for example, or they can plug it into a Control 4 RTI, Crestron, that type of thing. So for me, these IoT devices, they are extremely flexible, which for the pro installer, it's just adds that extra dimension of flexibility for little solution finders, I guess you'd say.
Right on. So I'm gonna pull up the website here, or at least I'm gonna try and pull up the website. Oh, look, I did it. And so just so I can show people what you're referring to, I think it might help them kind of understand what's going on. So let's see what's okay here. UL certified relay. This sounds like it'll. Oh, see, there we go. There's a relay. So you plug wires into this thing. It's probably electrical. So maybe you put this in front of some kind of light fixture or something like that, and then see it. I can see it even going into the wall here behind your light switches, and then you'll be able to control this using, like you said, one of the different home automation control systems to do stuff. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you're looking at there is our in-wall relays. And what they do is they just hook straight up to the back of any switch or outlet, and that'll allow you to have switch functionality, essentially turning a dumb switch into a smart switch.
Okay.
Yeah, that way you have remote control. You can do power monitoring if it says PM on the device. Then it does power metering. You can see the consumption rates, and then you've got timers, and you can schedule scenes and all types of things with them.
Okay, so okay, check this out and tell me if I'm understanding this correctly for this particular device. So an issue that I have at home now is that I have a whole house full of ancient Insteon switches, right? And that's kind of mostly a dead duck, right? But somebody bought it and they're trying to put new life into it. But whatever, right? It's like nobody supports it, and it's a rough ecosystem to be in. But those switches, if you pull that out of the wall, there is a humongous box, and everything is kind of built in to the switch, right? So it looks like this device, you would use a regular kind of Decora switch, but then you would put this in line behind it and create all of that functionality rather than having it built into the single unit. Is that right?
Absolutely. And the
Interesting.
beautiful thing with the Shellys is they've also created, it's called a plus i4. And what that does is you can combine that with the 1 or the 1 PM. That will give you control over the 4, say it's a 4-gang war box.
Right.
That'll give you control over all 4 switches as opposed to just 1 or 2. So it saves time on the install too.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So I assume it's a big thing, and you put all your loads into it, and then all your switches on the other side, and then you just see it in whatever tool you're using, and you can control it however. Does that sound right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And we've developed our own app. We've got a really nice interface for our own app. But where we really definitely thrive, I want to say, is all of our API documents are online and available. So if anybody wants to take it into whatever platform they need to, that's comfortable for them, they can do that. Which gives you that extra layer of your home automation for you, right?
That's cool. Right on. So I want to take a second here and welcome everybody to the show. We've got a number of people that haven't said anything yet in the comments, but welcome to everybody there. And then Marv, we'll get all kinds of interesting questions over the evening. So we're going to be all over the place, but it's pretty cool. And I just want to acknowledge, he's been working on these subs, and he's got just finishing up my long overdue project while watching 12-inch Dayton Audio reference sub sealed with a Dayton Audio SPA 500 amp plate. So I'm curious, did you use the De Novo flat pack and then cut a hole in the back for the plate amp, or did you just do a custom build totally? And then okay, it is sealed, so yeah, down and then let's see, you got a output below 19. Nice. Yeah, like Mike said, that's pretty awesome. Anyway, yeah, let us know what kind of enclosure kit you used for that. So my question for you, have you dipped your toes much into the home automation arena?
Well, the fact that I'm an apartment dweller kind of prevents me from really getting into it. But yeah, I have a automated temperature thing. I was actually looking at Shelly's stuff, and to be honest, the Shelly button 1 caught my eye, because how cool would it be to program all these actions to where you can like, let's say you walk into your home theater, Giles, and your lights can dim, your stuff can turn on, your screen can come up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be kind of cool, because I think you could do like 4 or 5 actions on that button.
What is that under? Was that under products, accessories?
It's under battery powered devices.
Okay, let's check out this the Shelly motion. Man, that is a weird looking motion sensor. Check that thing out.
It almost looks like a cartoon, right?
Yeah, it looks like there should be eyes up above the nose, which
Yeah.
right on. The water sensor, that's pretty
Shelly
straightforward.
flood, I could have used that at my last apartment for
Yes,
sure.
you could have. Yeah, I've actually got 2 similar devices from the Nest ecosystem.
Well, just think about it, Giles.
ring.
Think about what happened in my last apartment. There was a horrible flood, And think about if my fiance would have went to work and I would have been home alone with the dog and I didn't know and I was sleeping, that Shelly flood could have saved my butt,
It absolutely could have. Yeah, and if people don't know, Mike had the terrible flood of, what was it, 2022,
20 no
21?
20
Man, we're
yeah, it was
getting old.
20 it was 22.
22.
It was January of 22. Yeah.
All right, so is this the Shelly? Is this the button you were talking about?
Yeah, dude, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
And
So
look how small it is. Look at the guy's hand. Look how small it is. You can
yeah, but
trick
his hands,
someone
like,
and just
that's
go,
Andre the Giant, though.
you could be like, look at this, look at this, guys. Look at this.
He's like, it's really small. So Steve, how are you seeing the button used? That what are folks doing with this out in the world? Are they putting it up by their coffee table when they sit down? They're like, it's movie time. Push the button.
Yeah, movie time is a great example of that. Because what you'll do is you'll program specific settings for lighting, close the blinds, and that can all be programmed on one button click. So that's actually our old version, the Wi-Fi button there. We've actually got a Bluetooth version as well. We actually just updated our website to Shelly.com, and it's got.
I'm on the wrong one, huh?
It's that's our older one. So that's actually got our Gen 1 devices there more than anything. But the buttons, I actually was talking to a good friend of ours, and we're actually working with a lot of the elderly folk because these buttons can trigger scenes. Say that somebody's fallen, the old life alert situation, they've fallen and they can't get up. And you can click a button and that can trigger a scene where it's lights on, lights off every 5 seconds even. So the blue button there just above the green dimmer thing there in the middle of the screen.
Is it the Shelly blue button one?
Yeah, that thing is teeny tiny. It's like almost the size of a quarter.
Oh yeah, it's like an AirTag almost.
Yes, that was the most common question at CES. Is that a tag?
Absolutely. Are you tracking me? Yeah, the Shelly technology.
But no, and they also added like a keychain loop into it too, so you can hook that to grandma and she can keep a button with her.
All right, that's funny because I'll be traveling to visit my mother, who is almost 80 now this summer. I'm gonna go tag her with a Shelly blue button. I'm like, push the button if you need anything, and set up a little automation for her. But man, the price was right on this thing, $14.90.
That's
pretty good.
That's the other thing. Like, you look at some of the prices on the market for smart home integration, and you're talking 30 to 50 grand out the gate for an entire house, right? And with Shelly, the beautiful thing is the price point is extremely affordable, and you can do a whole house for like 10 to 12 grand easy.
So what on the page that I'm on now, are these the controllers that go behind the lighting switches? So like the 1 p.m. or is it is it a different?
So what you're seeing there is our in-wall relays, and the plus 1 p.m. is one of our most common uses. Just above that, or actually to the right, you see the plus 1 mini and the Gen 3 minis there. Those guys came out, gosh, Cedia was the initial plus 1 mini, and then we got a Gen 3 chip. So our Gen 3 chip has more RAM, so faster speeds, faster response time. It is Matter upgradable, so once Matter figure out their functionalities, we'll be able to integrate with that. But right now, we offer a lot more than just the on-off functionality for a lot of things. But yeah, they just go straight in behind a wall, hook straight up to a switch, and
that's so. I've been looking for a replacement solution for all these things. So, I've been looking at all the normal folks out there, but it's all like 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks per switch, right?
Yeah.
Let me get this out. So yeah, if you could put that back up again so people can see. You were showing one here? Let me make you big. Yeah. I'm going to solo you. Oh, you got it now. See, you could do that for like less than $20 a unit, right? And everything all in.
Absolutely. So this one alone is, I think it's $16.90 for this 1+1 PM. But this gives you a single channel relay, gives you switch control, and essentially I've got this pre-wired, so all that you actually need is your line and neutral,
Right.
and you're good to go. The blue version of this is the +1. That also comes with dry contacts and does low voltage too. So you'll see people using that for gate control, garage doors. If they've got to run it out to a low voltage kind of line rather than a true line voltage. So
I guess this also is kind of cool because it lets people maintain their aesthetic that they want, as opposed to having to go with whatever the controller switch manufacturer decides on. This just goes with, that's really cool.
yeah. So I built my house 2 years ago. It's brand new. It still has the new house smell.
Nice.
You could say that. But they all come with regular Legrand rocker switches.
Right.
So all I had to do was obviously turn the power off first, otherwise I'd lose my hair.
Sure. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Your time is coming, Mike.
I hope not for his sake.
It's coming. So all you had to do is turn the power off and
wire it straight in, and as soon as you put power back to it, you can make it become searchable on Wi-Fi. So we have Wi-Fi devices, we have Bluetooth, and at CES we unveiled our Z-Wave devices. So we're getting into that space as well.
What's a Z-Wave?
So Z-Wave is a different Wi-Fi protocol, which means that it operates on a lower frequency. So right now, most of these devices operate on 2.4 gigahertz of Wi-Fi. The Z-Wave in the US, I think, operates on 908 frequency. So that means less interference with the network. So it demands less from each device. So you'll get faster response times. You'll get, your other devices won't be fighting for that bandwidth.
Now,
go ahead, Mike.
I'm sorry, Giles. I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to home automation. So, once you hook all this stuff up in your house, do you guys provide like a UI to control everything, or is it kind of like, how do you control everything at that point once you have everything connected and plugged in?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it depends on what you want to do with Shelly, and that's one of the best things about us. So we do have our own UI. We also have a web GUI as well. So you can download the Shelly Smart Control app, or you can do it from your browser. To add devices, you just click a button, a plus button, add new device, and you just run through the steps there. Alternatively, if you've got a pro that can install it for you, then you don't have to worry about it. That's great. But these things are extremely easy to install yourselves. Most of our business is end consumer, in all seriousness. So they may look a little intimidating, but once you get into it, they're extremely nimble devices.
Now, so there's an app. Now, do you need like a on-prem controller box for these? Or do they talk up to the cloud to a controller, or are they just independent entities that get told what to do and they just listen for controls to come from whatever? Or do you see what I'm getting at? I don't, in the past, you'd always have to go buy a home controller and put it, or whatever it is, right? Some kind of box. And then there are other devices that talk through the cloud up to Amazon or whatever. How does this work specifically?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't need a hub for our stuff. With the Z-Wave, once that's fully available, you will need a Z-Wave hub. So all of our Wi-Fi devices, the LAN devices, the Bluetooth, they do not need a separate hub. So it'll just go straight to the cloud, or essentially and communicate with each other. So all of our Wi-Fi devices have Wi-Fi range extenders. So they'll be able to communicate with each other. And we actually have created a nice little Bluetooth offering with a smart security bundle here.
Oh, nice.
And what that is that just combines our sensors, so a motion sensor, door and window contact sensors. But because these guys operate on Bluetooth, if you don't have any Wi-Fi devices, how are you going to connect to the network? So we've developed a Bluetooth gateway dongle, just like your regular Bluetooth mouse, where you plug that into your computer. It'll, scan for the Bluetooth device that it should do, and it'll find any Shelly Bluetooth devices. So you can essentially create your own security monitoring situation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I have a quick question about the Shelly UNI. So if I'm understanding this correctly, could I take one of these boards and essentially put it inside pretty much anything pre-1999, right, where everything was pretty basic, and turn it into a smart device?
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's say I have an old radio, right, an old AM/FM radio. I can connect this thing inside there, and I essentially could control this old radio with my phone.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool.
And the great thing with the Uni as well is we're working with a casino. I won't name names, but to operate Venetian blinds. And what they're doing with the Uni is they're also detecting for light and maybe wind or whatever it is, depending on the weather event, to open and close Venetian blinds. So super programmable and very versatile too. A lot of our devices, I'll kind of break this open a little bit here, but on the back, there's a way to connect and clip on right there. And what that'll do is that'll allow you to plug in digital sensors to this additional device that just sits right on the back of it. And there is the space in the wall box to do that. That's the way that these guys are designed. So you can add, temperature, you can add light. Some people do even soil pH balancing, that type of thing, to turn on chlorine, whatever it is. So these guys really extremely versatile, and they're not big devices, so there's a lot of different things you can do with them.
Okay, this is really cool. I think I found a new project for myself as I start ripping out these old Insteon switches as they die, and they're starting to go out on me. So that's...
somebody said recently, you've just given me a whole bunch of Legos, and now I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And that's essentially what you're doing. It's Lego for the house. It's great.
Yeah. So here's another question. I'm just full of questions now because I'm getting into how do I implement this. So, like on the Insteon side, I had in the home a bunch of 3-way switches, right? So when I went to the automated switches, I didn't rip anything out, but I rewired everything, so it was really just one light switch, and then the other one, instead of being wired for a 3-way switch, was just a remote that would turn this one on. So can you take a switch in the wall that has power and then just set it as a relay to another switch?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I assume that would be basic functionality, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what these guys are. So any of our plus 1 p.m., 2 p.m. devices, they act as switch relays. So even if you've got your smart control, somebody that wants to use the app or whatever interface they're using, that's cool. But what if I keep picking on grandma because she doesn't want to use technology, but she wants to come up and use the regular wall switch because that's what she's used to?
Right.
It'll still essentially communicate with the device so that it will know that it's off or on, so that you have that relay capability.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Yeah. Yes, this is really cool. I now just got to figure out how to integrate this in with everything else. So this will be a 2024 project for sure.
Yeah. So the next level to this is all of our sensors, because yes, you've got your stuff in your walls with your Insteon switches that you're upgrading with Shelly in the back end. But what happens when you want to walk into the pantry, and it's dark? You have to reach for a pull cord or a light switch or something. With our motion sensor or even a door and window sensor, you can trigger the scene to automatically turn on the lights. So especially when you're talking age in place or children in the house, essentially for any generation, you're able to configure the Shelly to whatever scene you want to do. And even plug and play. You know, we've got our regular wall plugs. They just go straight into the back of a regular outlet. It has the same functionality as one of the 1PMs. But you know, a floor lamp, for example, that I've actually that's what's hooked up to my my light in here. I don't actually have a ceiling light right now,
Right
so
on.
I'm on a regular outlet, and I can even trigger my
You've got a
light.
button for that. There's a button for that.
There is a button for that, but I actually have it through my app right here.
Right on.
So you know, I did make the mistake though. I put one of these in my kid's room and told him it was a clapper. So now he's stood in his room clapping. I'm having to hit the button on the app as many times as quickly as I can. So
That's funny.
Hey, Stephen, how much are your wall plugs?
The wall plugs retail at $19.95, I believe, $20.
Okay, so you keep them right at the same price as the Amazon wall plug, because that's what I use now. And the question I had for you, since I am an apartment dweller, a lot of people, I mean, I see apartment buildings going up all the time. Is Shelly kind of partnering with new developments, new apartment complexes to make smart apartments? Because I know, I mean, ideally I would have a big house and lots of space, but the economy doesn't allow it. So this is where we're at. So yeah, I would love to integrate that in an apartment, but I'm not going to be ripping out wall plugs and stuff like that in an apartment, because it's not a forever place. And it's not my money at this point. But so would you recommend like the wall plugs? Do you have anything else that could work well for that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the plugs are great for that. First off, and going back to the original question, for me, a massive target for me is those apartment complexes, the MDUs, because smart living, smart apartments are just essentially a device away. You know, they're right there, right on the cusp. So with the plugs, they're a great gateway and entryway into Shelly and home automation. But look at some of the sensors. You mentioned it back in the great flood of 2021, you said?
Yeah.
Something like that.
We've actually created a leak and valve kit, a water shutoff kit based on our devices. So you combine
that would have helped me.
Yeah, and that's we're doing some education with that. We've got a strategic partner out in Georgia and Florida. They're actually an ISP, an internet service provider, and they're actually supplying the leak sensors that we have, the flood. But now we've worked and created a kit where, just like that you can see there with the Pro 3M switch add-on. Instead of the Pro 3M, you'd throw in a Pro 1PM device that would then communicate to a solenoid and shut the water off if there's a leak that's been detected. And from the leak to the complete shut off, it could take 2 to 3 seconds tops. So you're in a perfect situation to tell me how much money that could have saved, but we tend to see it every time we go out to a trade show. So
what people don't understand is that they don't think they're going to use this until they need it.
No, absolutely. And what I'm trying to do as well is work with insurance companies to incentivize homeowners, because if you have a water shutoff kit that's been installed by a pro, you get insurance rebates, things like that, don't you? So there's that other side of it as well. But I was just going to say, every time we go to a trade show, somebody's had a water event where they've had to call a plumber out. And the only way that they've known is because their leak sensors told them to the phone. And then, it's, hey, honey, go find the leak. It's in the in the attic, in the basement, wherever the leak was. But the last 6 months, we've had a few people saved by that bell. And that's the Shelly flood device right there.
All right. So I have a question, and I feel like I should know, but okay, like this guy right here. What the heck is this thing? Is that
Yeah.
like a breaker box from a non-US power setup or something?
Yeah.
I'm
So
like, what is this? I have no idea what this is.
yeah. So I'll go back to go forward. So Shelly is a Bulgarian company, so very deep rooted in its European practices. So in Europe, they love DIN rail mountable products, and the rail that you see on the back is a DIN rail, and the Pro devices are all DIN rail mountable so that they can go into centralized enclosures. So
Gotcha.
you would put that box right next to your breaker, for example, and you could put a Pro 3EM in there, and you could have your whole house monitored for its power consumption. Here's one I made earlier, as they say in the biz, right? So this enclosure right here, this is actually our leak and valve kit that I was mentioning earlier. And essentially, it comes with the water valve, it comes with the floods, but this is the Pro 1PM device. Now, this guy, it comes with the same functionality as the switch, the one that goes behind the switches, but it allows you for that centralized solution. So I get people asking me, how do I create a centralized lighting solution that's not going to cost me an arm and a leg, like a Lutron Homeworks, for example, things like that.
Yeah, because that costs you 2 arms and 2 legs sometimes.
Absolutely.
I just bounced off that stuff because I'm like, I don't want to spend that kind of money.
But that's exactly the point. You want that functionality, and Shelly can offer it to a degree and give you that functionality, the real flexibility to build into any other system. But you can see here the curves in here. That's the DIN rail mount that slides straight onto the rail. And the other thing with the Pro devices, they have LAN capability.
Oh,
so
nice.
If you had a router right next to it, you could essentially create a LAN switch, plug everything into it directly. That way, essentially, if you can figure out how many switches you want to control, you can customize your entire enclosure based on these guys and have it all in one spot. So, yeah, that's
Nifty.
Yeah,
no,
nifty.
that's really cool. That's really cool.
I started saying nifty. I got looked at, and I was like, "What? It is nifty. What do you want me to do?"
No, that's a mighty fine word from my point of view, because it's really nifty. Oh gosh, yeah. I don't think here my application would really work well for the Pro gear, but just the behind the switch units and that stuff. That's pretty spot on.
I don't like telling people that we can do everything, but we can do pretty much everything, and we'll tell you when we can't. But if you prefer the in-wall solution, that's definitely your baby. Go do it.
Hey, Steven.
Yeah, and for me, the in-wall works better because I'll have a number of different light switches on a power run. So, if you were controlling that upstream, you might be, controlling 2 rooms at one time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I've shown you this at the switch level, but if you get one of our plus 2 PM devices that's a 2-channel relay, you throw that up at the top of a ceiling fan, for example, that has the light and the fan capability.
Right.
You can control both of them at the actual fixture rather than the switch. So
I know exactly what you're talking about because I've looked at that and I'm like, how do I deal with this? Because if I put it behind the wall plate, then I just turn it all off. So I can't just run the fan or the light and control each one independently. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Now for everybody else out there that doesn't really care about home automation, we do have a couple other things that I want to talk about tonight. So I think we're going to go ahead and shift gears a little bit. But for a final word on Shelly and automation, if people are interested in the products, what are the methods or avenues for them to bring this into their home? Do they find a pro, or do they just go to the Shelly website and order stuff, or do they go down to the True Hardware store? How do folks avail themselves of the product?
Yeah, absolutely. So they can go to Shelly.com. Products are always available on there. We have all of our products on Amazon as well. you'll get good shipping.
Sure.
But
Oh yeah, you do.
you'll be paying a premium on Amazon. So go to our website, Shelly.com. If it is that you want installation, just send a ticket through our site, and I personally may be able to connect you with somebody if that funnels through to me. But we've got installers up and down the country that are learning how to work with Shelly pretty regularly. So if you want somebody in your area, please reach out to us, and we'll get you connected.
Awesome. Great. With that, now I'm going to shift to a topic that I think Mike is going to be really interested in. And
I was happy talking about home automation.
I know, but I got to talk about this. I've been dying to talk to you about this. So Steve, I'm sure you don't know, but Mike and I are big Dune fans, right? We loved all of the Dune mythology in the books and all the old movies, the new movies. And Dune 2 is coming out later this year.
Mm-hmm.
But the popcorn box has been released already. And I don't know, have you guys seen the popcorn for Dune yet?
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Is this through AMC?
Yeah. Well, I assume maybe it's an AMC exclusive. I know AMC is going to have it, and I will have the popcorn box. But it's the top of the popcorn box is a sandworm. And then if you look down through the top, you know how the teeth were in the new Dune movie? You have to put your hand through the teeth, and it's like this rubber kind of material, so you can put your hand in and then bring it back out. And people are saying it's just like the grossest feeling to get the popcorn ever. But I have to have this popcorn box, and I thought
I don't think I would use it. I think I'd keep it as a collector's item.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm gonna have one because I've got the big D20 from the D&D movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had to have that one.
Dude, I have still yet to see that movie
for this popcorn thing.
I haven't seen the Dungeons and Dragons movie. Obviously, you have. You're wearing the T-shirt.
Yeah.
You probably have 70 of the books behind you over there.
Oh, that's a whole library of old D&D novels. Okay, I got a Dune 2 popcorn.
Hey, while you're looking at that, I want to ask Stephen another question.
Yeah, go, please.
Stephen, obviously, Shelly is going to be a lot of infrastructure, on the infrastructure side of things. Is there any interest in getting into consumer products like climate control, like on the wall, or security cameras or anything like that?
There's talk about it. I'm not going to say no, but what?
Because obviously, I mean, your infrastructure can piggyback off of pretty much anything on the market, right?
Yeah, we can really piggyback off anything. So if there's other people that specialize in that, then we want to take advantage of their expertise and tap into that and let us do what we do best as well. So we see a lot of people working with HVAC units, for example. We've got great appliance control on 240 volt, for example. But with our humidity and temperature sensors, for example, you can, tap into what you've got in your area, in your proximity, and work with whatever control you've got there.
Another random question: are you from Scotland?
No, I'm from North England. I'll say technically the Midlands in England, okay. But if I'm not from London, then I sound completely different to all the other English people that people.
Yeah, I couldn't pinpoint the accent because it's not as heavy as a Scottish accent, and it's definitely not Irish. But
he's like, no.
Yeah, I was like, man, it's a curious accent. I never heard that.
The other problem I have personally is I Americanize my accent because I'm so used to talking to American people. If I speak to my dad, for example, my accent comes out so thickly, it's you wouldn't be able to understand me. It's funny, my wife met my grandma and they couldn't have a conversation because my grandma was speaking English, but so thick that my American wife couldn't understand. It was pretty funny.
Oh my god,
that's
looks like a Giles. That looks like a legitimate butthole.
It is not necessarily the most pleasant thing out there, but this is the Dune 2 popcorn box.
No, I have to have it as well. Like,
I have to have this thing. I mean, this will be on my display So it might be back here in the back. It will be had. Although people say it's really difficult to eat popcorn out of it because it's like that experiment where they would have chimpanzees or whatever, they would have a hole that they could put their hand in and they put like food or whatever back there. But when you make a fist, your hand is too big to come back out. So, the chimpanzee would be stuck there for days with their hand in this thing trying to get the food out. It's the same thing. You can put your hand in there, but you can't pull out the popcorn. You have to like go in and like one piece at a time. So they say it's really awkward to eat popcorn. So that's the new Dune popcorn.
I wouldn't eat popcorn out of that. I would keep it as a keepsake though, for sure.
Absolutely.
If they could do 3D print things like that 35 years ago, that would have been a Sarlacc pit.
It would have been a Sarlacc pit. Absolutely. You're totally right. I wonder, is there an opportunity somewhere in the world to have a crossover movie where Dune meets Star Wars in a what if episode, and the Sarlacc pit, and the Sarlacc and the Dune worm are somehow related? And actually, on Tatooine, there was spice, and that's what makes Jedi be Jedi.
I like that. I mean, it is said that Star Wars stole everything from Dune, so I mean that would make sense.
Man, we just everybody out there, tell your friends, because the dots are coming together, and this is people. This is the heresy. It starts already.
Hey, Giles, you know what would be even better if you cross over in a what if episode, Spaceballs and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. One thing that has to be discussed right now though, since Steve, you put yourself out there, so I'm going to put you back in solo outlook here, layout, and you have to explain, because I think, is that a Sith Lord behind you?
Yep. So that's a Darth Maul figure right there.
That's right. I thought that was Darth Maul. That looked like him.
Oh, and actually, he's turned slightly. That's actually a Darth Vader figurine that's in the box right there.
Oh yeah, I can't see that one.
Yeah, no, it's turned, unfortunately. That's yeah, right there.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, but we actually had Darth Tater somewhere. The Mr. Potato Head version as well.
Darth Tater?
Yeah.
Darth Tater before. Oh god, I want Darth Tater now. I gotta have it. Oh look, Mike's got his bobblehead Darth Vader.
Nice.
I don't have anything.
I normally don't take
pops
here. I normally don't take pops out of the box, but I just had to with him.
Yeah, I've got nothing here except the books on the back. There's none of my other memorabilia handy, unfortunately.
Oh, I know Giles remembers this one. I was actually cleaning my desk off today, and so I have everything in a box behind me, but Giles definitely remembers this one.
Oh yeah. What, Khaleesi?
Oh yeah. She's the queen of the realm in here.
Nice. Gotta love Khaleesi.
When the missus isn't around, yeah.
I was actually watching an ancient episode of Top Gear today. So I don't know if you guys have ever watched Top Gear.
Oh yeah.
But it was the Burma special from season 22, which was filmed eons ago. And so they're driving through Burma and Myanmar, whatever you want to call it. And they said, look at this. This looks like the background out of a episode of Game of Thrones. And I thought to myself, man, Game of Thrones is old. It's old. When did that come out? You guys know?
Years and years and years ago. I mean, I'm still waiting for the next House of the Dragon season to come out. So
we're going to be on season 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Hey, Giles, are you a big Boondock Saints fan?
I've never seen it.
Steven, have you seen it?
No, I can't say that I have.
I don't even know. It's a cartoon.
I'm not even showing you guys this thing. No, it's not a cartoon. It's like the biggest cult classic there is. You guys got to watch Boondock Saints, and then I'll show you what I have.
That's too much of a tease. I'm not gonna go watch. Is it a movie? You got to tell me what is TV show, radio show, live stream.
It's what I got in New Mexico when I went on my trip. I got it signed from Boondock Saints. Sean
Did that say
Patrick,
Dan McCrackers?
Connor McManus.
Oh, I like Dan McCrackers better.
Dude, if you knew who this was, you'd be. Oh, he was Powder, the actor that played Powder.
Powder. Snow skiing?
No, he was in the newest movie he did was Nefarious. I think it was that scary movie.
Is that the one with the people with the centipede thing?
No, God, you know what? Sean Patrick, there it is. Sean Patrick Flannery. Thank you, Matt Prawn. You'll get a kick out of this. Then I'm gonna bring it back up. So Sean Patrick Flannery signed this. He's actually a really, really, really nice guy. Super nice guy. That's all I got to say about that.
Talking about nice guys. So for everybody out there that has been keeping up with stuff, and I have just finished, or I'm almost finished with my rewatch of all of the Stargate episodes, including all the movies. So I've done all 10 seasons of Stargate SG-1. I've done 5 seasons of Stargate Atlantis. I've done both seasons of Stargate Universe. I've done Stargate Continuum, the movie, and Stargate, the other one, the movie that I can't remember, along with the original movie. All that's left is the Stargate Origins, which is like a concatenation of a whole bunch of web shorts that tell the story of when they found the first gate. So I got to watch that. But my point is, talking about nice guys, one of the actors, his last name's Blue, and I can't remember his first name, like Jonathan Blue or something like that. He played one of the characters in Stargate Universe, and I friended him on Instagram, and I made a comment on one of his posts, and he was nice and responded and everything, you know. So, obviously he's not like
star, bro.
What's that?
That's because you have a blue star.
Oh, I do have a blue. He's got a blue star too, but I have more Instagram followers than he does. That's right. Look at this. Yeah, this is the moneymaker right here. He's got a lot of followers. But no, I thought it was really nice. That because a lot of people, when they're professional actors or whatever, they have an agency that manages all their stuff, right? But apparently,
it's Stargate, bro.
Well, yeah, okay. He's done a lot of other stuff too. Who was in Stargate Universe that I really like? Ming Na. You guys know Ming Na? She was in what's that?
Ming Na Way, Agents of Shield, and
Agents of Shield, all that stuff. Yeah. She's in not the Mandalorian. Is it the Mandalorian?
Yeah, Boba Fett, Mandalorian, yeah.
Yeah, Boba Fett. She's in Boba Fett.
There, I thought Steven and I were on the same page here, but now you just drug him back into your Stargate.
Yeah. See? It's funny you mentioned that because I'm going back through a rewatch of Star Wars Clone Wars so that I can go and watch Ahsoka. So all the Mandalorians were amazing. So that's why I'm like, all right, get ready for Ahsoka.
The last one I watched, maybe you can educate me on which season it was, Steven. It was where CGI Luke showed up at the end.
Oh, season 2. I lost it. I completely lost it. I remember I was in bed watching that episode. I woke my wife up just in sheer delight at the CGI and everything. I was like, oh my God, it's Luke. But yeah, no. Yeah. It's not the only CGI of him you may see.
Was that the second season?
I think it was the end of season 2.
Yeah. I know CGI Luke is in Ahsoka, I believe. But
it is?
I think.
No. CGI Luke's not in Ahsoka.
I think so.
Ahsoka is the new. There's been one season, right?
Yes.
I don't know who the actress is, but there's some lady that plays one of the parts that, like her boyfriend is the one that got trapped in the other universe or whatever, the other galaxy. She was, and they're all from the cartoon, right? And Ahsoka, and then whoever this girl is.
Oh, yeah, she's probably the one that's in Rebels. I can't think of her name.
Anyway, I really like that whole story arc, and I really like the actress, and it was really that was all good stuff. I'm not really good with all of this generation of Star Wars lore.
Since you're into so I got this signed by Giancarlo.
Nice.
Esposito. This was at
That's Breaking Bad, right?
this was Breaking Bad, but he was in Mandalorian too.
Yeah.
I got that signed at Fan Expo last year in Denver. God, we went for like three different people's autographs, and man, we spent like 4 hours waiting in different lines. Giancarlo wasn't too bad. He was like 35, maybe 40 minutes. I got the Green Arrow, Stephen Amell. He was like 30 minutes. Oh, super nice guy. And I got what's his name? Daredevil.
Charlie
Cox, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him too. Another super nice guy. So yeah, I haven't come across too many not nice people, but I mean they're getting paid to be there. But
Yeah. So that guy, what's his name again?
Giancarlo. Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito,
something like that. So what I like about him is that dude is not shy to like put stuff out there. He's all like, I would really like to act in a so-and-so and do a so-and-so part, right? He's like, I want to be in Star Wars. I want to be in, he's all like, I'll do it. I'll be the new James Bond. You know, or he's all like, I just put it out there.
He's just so good at being the villain. Like,
he really is.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
I may completely vilify myself here, but it took me 3 attempts to watch Breaking Bad. Yeah, I just kept getting stuck around season 3. And then I got there. I went and I was like, okay, I'm doing this all the way through, and now I get it. So I regret it all that time.
I had never watched it until I met my fiance, and she asked me if I had watched it. I'm like, no, never really interested me. You know, I didn't think a show about, you know, doing drugs would be a thing for me. But man, when I got into it, I watched that, then I watched Better Call Saul, then I watched that movie that came after that. Oh my God, it's definitely that was kind of the reason why we were prompted to go to Albuquerque, New Mexico the first time for the Comic-Con, because we wanted to go to the Breaking Bad store that they have there, and it didn't disappoint. It's a great experience through and through.
So there's a few things about Breaking Bad. You never look at 2 things the same, and that is bathtubs and RVs. Like you'll never look at them the same way.
Yeah, you always every RV to me is the Crystal Palace now, or Crystal Ship. I'm sorry, the Crystal Ship.
Well, what's funny is going full circle back to Shelly. We're retrofitting RVs and we're doing electric RVs. I'm like, dude, I just talk about Breaking Bad all day now. It's great.
Yeah, imagine if the Crystal Ship was outfitted with Shelly stuff.
So for the electric RVs, which ones have you guys looked at? Do you any of the new brands that are out there? Because I saw some electric RV stuff at CES, and I was blown away.
There's one that we're working with called Grounded RVs, based in Detroit. They are fully on board with the Shelly movement. That's the only one so far, but we're also talking to a few other RV manufacturers as well. Not just electric RV, but generally luxury coach RV space kind of guys.
Right on.
What's great as well is we're talking to people that smart modular building, kind of modular unit companies as well, that they'll retrofit shipping containers, and they're like, okay, how do we make this smart? And Shelly comes straight into it very easily. So a few easy ways there.
Right on. That's cool. I'm going to have on later this year a ERV, I guess you'd call it, a company that's going to be showing off some of their stuff. So I'm kind of excited to talk about that. Not that I could afford one to buy it, but they look really cool. Okay, now I think it's the last segment for the show tonight as we wind this down. I think this is a good time. This is audible. I hadn't planned to talk about this tonight, but since I've got Mike on here, I want to go through the 2024 anticipated movie list, and I want to get some thumbs up or thumbs down on what you think about these upcoming movies are, and if it's one you plan to watch or not. And I've got a list here, and I'm going to go through these, and some of these I'm going to skip some because it's just not in my genre of stuff, like some of the foreign language stuff and other things I just don't know anything about. But so one thing that I think is kind of interesting is the Holdovers, which is kind of like I think it might be related to Sideways. I don't know. It's got Paul Giamatti and Alexander Payne, who was the director from Sideways. And
I really like Sideways. Sideways is a great movie.
yeah, I don't know a lot about the Holdovers, but I'm hoping that pairing is good. Steve, have you heard anything about this one?
No, I'm nothing, unfortunately.
Right on. I'm going to give it a thumbs up just because I like the cast, but I don't know a lot. All right, next one is The Beekeeper, and that's out now, I believe. Are you guys familiar with this one? It hasn't got a ton of press.
Yeah, I want to see it. Yeah,
I saw a few trailers and I was like, yeah, I want to see that.
Okay, and I have to like it because it's got Jason Statham, right? And he's bald.
Yeah.
And he just kicks ass. So
honestly, dude, I'm a fan of anything Jason Statham or Liam Neeson, even though they play the same role in every movie. I still love it.
It doesn't matter, pleasure. Right? It's good.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Okay, Joker. I don't know how to pronounce this. Folie à deux.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, Lady Gaga, Joaquin Phoenix. It's got to be.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? They're coming for their Oscars. So yeah, that'll be good. Gladiator 2.
What?
Yeah. No. Here's the description. It's been more than 20 years since Russell Crowe wowed audiences, and it's got in air quotes like he didn't wow them. He totally wowed them. It doesn't need to be in air quotes. As Maximus in the original Gladiator, said Angel Shaw in Screen Rant, and it's taken this long for a sequel to become a reality. Gladiator 2 will feature a brand new Gladiator with Paul Mescal as a grown-up Lucius and a star-studded cast including Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, and Joseph Quinn. 22 November 2024.
Hey, Jimon Hunsu is going to be in it.
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy that he's in every movie, but nobody really notices.
I obviously haven't noticed, but I'm down with Jimon Zinju. Sorry, guy. He's going to watch this. Totally,
dude. This is going to be good. I mean, you got Pedro Pascal, you got Paul, all the L's, right? Paul Mescal, you got Denzel. Yeah, this is going to be good, dude.
Yeah, I'm giving that probably double thumbs up.
I'll give it
a Gladiator fan, so
yeah,
I'll watch it. I just hope that the cast backs it the way that it's sounding, because it sounds good, but
it's got stars galore.
Well, the problem with movies like that is there's such a huge shadow that's been cast, because it's like redoing the Fight Club or doing a Fight Club 2 or doing
there can be no Fight Club 2,
right?
It just can't.
But you see what I'm saying though, one of those iconic movies where they're like, okay, well, we're just gonna do a second one, with new people and Denzel and Sandal.
Yeah, Denzel Sandal. Yeah, I've missed all the Mad Piranha comments, and Giancarlo has talent galore. Absolutely. Luke, was he in Boba Fett? I don't remember. No, I don't think so.
He was.
No, he wasn't in.
That's another one I miss Boba Fett as well. I need to catch up, man.
Boba Fett was good. I've got it. I've been watching Stargate for 6 months now, so it's time for me to catch up. Next one, Dune 2. I don't know that we need to comment more.
Dude.
Yeah, the top side of the screen here is all in, so we're all in. Okay, everybody's in for Dune 2. All I have to say is Zendaya. I love Zendaya. What's up, Zendaya? I'm a big fan. Super fan.
This guy.
And and it's funny, my oldest son, he's totally rocking the Timothy Chalamet haircut. You haven't seen Drake in a while, Pack, or Mike, you gotta see it.
It's Timothée.
Whatever.
Timothée Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. Timothy.
Say it how you would say it in Alabama. Timmy.
Tim. I'm from Alabama, so I can make these jokes.
Yeah, Timmy Shammy.
Timmy Sham. All right, Mike, this one is for you, and they're releasing
Ghostbusters. 2 thumbs up.
No, almost there, not quite. That one's your number 1. I think this is your number 2. Beetlejuice 2.
No, you know what? I was never that hard into.
That seems like it's a perfect Mike movie.
I saw it in the theaters. I went with my mother, of all people. I was a kid. I was probably 6 years old, and I saw it in the theaters. And it was cool, but I do like the fact that what's her name? Wednesday is going to be in it, right?
The new girl that plays all the goth stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the dark hair and who did the dance thing that everybody loves so much.
Yeah. Well, the first time I saw her was in the show You. Have you seen the show You, Giles?
Is it the YOU or EWE or
YOU?
No.
It's a fantastic show. It's on like its 4th or 5th season now, but its final season's coming up. But yeah, she was in one of the seasons. God, what is her name? Jesus.
General Ortega.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right on. Steve to the best.
Steven, have you seen You?
No, I haven't. I've seen it around, but I know the show you're talking about.
You have to. Both of you have to watch it. It is a fantastic. It makes you want to root for the bad guy. It's one of those shows. So,
all right.
Even though he does unspeakable things, but he's like Dexter, right? You kind of root for the bad guy.
Yeah, that takes me back to The Boys. I watch The Boys. So
Homelander. Yeah.
How much longer do we have to wait for season 4? Because I'm like this, shaking, waiting for it.
I haven't seen season 3 yet, so I'm all glad that it's taken a while. So I got to catch back up. Yeah. And then that actress, there was so much drama about her just recently. The one who plays like the corn-fed girl from the Midwest who's the superhero. Starlight. So somebody went on social media and was like, "Oh, Starlight, whatever her name is, had all this plastic surgery and stuff." And there was like a huge drama out there. I don't know. Hey, Mike, what were you going to say?
Yeah, she's definitely not ugly.
No, she's a very, very pretty girl. Yeah, they said she had.
No, I saw I don't know if this is what do you call it? A question.
Oh, this one? Godzilla X.
No, above it.
Oh, speaking of automation, I use actuators in my AV system. Nice.
Was that passive aggressive or what? Since we're not talking about automation.
No, I think they're just catching up with us. And you know what I would like to, I don't know if actuator is the right term, but I want to put some kind of switching on some of my amplification that doesn't have remote sensors on it. So it doesn't have like a 12-volt trigger, so that when I turn on the processor, it'll automatically turn on the downstream switch for the amp. So it'll come on. So I got to figure out some stuff like that. And I'm sure that the Legos that Shelly has something that can figure that out.
Sure,
all right, buddy. What's next on the list for movies? Come on.
All right. Mufasa, the Lion King.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
I'll watch it. I don't know anything about it. But
I'm like halfway.
Yeah, I'm like this one.
Lukewarm.
Fall Guy.
I don't think I know that.
It's the one about, it's a comedy of like a stunt guy that I don't know. And the picture that you always see is like there's a car with a crane thing on top of it, and the guy.
Oh, it's the Ryan Gosling flick.
Yeah, it's Ryan Gosling. Yeah, Emily Blunt, Ryan Gosling. So I'm like here on it.
Probably a no.
Okay, here's a Giles movie, Aliens, Romulus.
They're still on this aliens thing?
Man, I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
Only if Sigourney Weaver's in it.
No, I don't think she's going to be in it. She is one of my favorites of all time, though. But she's like almost 70 now. I think she's you're getting some age on her. Garfield movie. I don't. Yeah, Steve's like nope. All right. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. This is missing a lot of stuff. So while I look for another list, Deadpool 2.
Oh,
Deadpool
3.
Deadpool 3. Yeah, that's double, triple thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Like I'll throw any thumbs up I can.
It's gonna have Wolverine in it.
Hugh Jackman in it is gonna make the whole movie right there.
Yeah. Okay, one that's out now that the world has already spoken about, Argyle.
Oh, it looks good.
I don't know.
I like Henry Cavill, and if my fiance wanted to go see it, but I was like, nah.
You should just take her. Let her see the man meat. Come on.
No.
Come on, Cavill. Dude, Cavill is a good-looking dude.
I'll take her to see any kind of Superman he stars in. But as far as weird stuff goes, I don't know.
He's a gamer too. Like he missed auditions because he was playing Warhammer, I think, or something like that.
He truly is the king of the nerds for sure.
Yeah.
No, he might be the prince of the nerds, but the king of the nerds is Mr. Werewolf guy. He played the werewolf in True Blood. And he's a big into D&D, and he was going to write like a D&D movie, but he didn't do it. He's like all super Mercuriano or something.
My fiance keeps wanting me to play or watch True Blood. Is it really good? I watched like the first episode.
Yeah,
and it was stupid.
Oh,
it had what's her face in it. Steve, you know what I'm talking about?
Joe Manganiello.
Yes, yeah. John Manganiello.
He was in Magic Mike, and he's very much man meat.
He was in the Arrow, wasn't he? Wasn't he in the Arrow?
No, he wasn't.
I never watched Arrow.
I love Arrow, so I'll talk Arrow and DC.
Extended. I'll tell you what. I think I asked Stephen Amell when I got his autograph. I was like, "Are we going to see a movie? Are we going to see anything?" He said that he doesn't know. He said he's willing to do it if it's willing to be done.
We got MegaCon here in Orlando, and he's there. I've got friends that have been and seen him this week. It came out this week that he would play Arrow again if he was asked for the movies.
Yeah, that's what he said to me too, and I'm okay with that. If they do it in like a Dark Knight, if Christopher Nolan does it, if Christopher Nolan directs it, I say go for it.
Well, I'll watch anything Nolan directs. That dude is brilliant.
Actually, Stephen Amell and his brother just released their second movie, Code
8.
Code 8. Yeah, I saw the first one. Phenomenal. I loved how they have chemistry on screen.
That's cool. Okay, next one. We're getting close to the
Giles needs to watch this, man. And that's what Giles' problem is. He doesn't watch good shows. It's Stargate all day.
Okay. I'm gonna let you guys curate a list for me of things to watch to catch me up on all the good things. And Arrow will have to be on there. Okay, Lisa Frankenstein.
No, not even.
Yes,
it doesn't even get a finger.
It's gonna be like a WB TV show. I don't know if you like the Felicity days from way back when. I'm completely down with that. Okay, Madam Web.
No way.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up, man. That's gonna be awesome. What are you talking about? It's gonna be really cool. Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, Adam Scott. Oh.
Dakota Johnson was great. Wasn't she in 50 Shades of Grey? She should have just stuck with that.
I don't know. Kung Fu Panda 4. I'm going to go doubles as well. That's looking good.
I'm good with.
Oh, Mike.
There is another one that's not made it the list yet.
Go ahead. What is it?
Despicable Me 4.
Oh yeah, let's give them all of it. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. I would.
Come on, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
It'll be amazing.
And then just for Mike, Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire.
Oh, dude.
Come on, yeah, it's got to be something.
I hope they continue on the same vibe that they had with the last one. So
something called Mickey 17 that I've never heard of before. It's a Robert Pattinson, Mark Ruffalo movie. I don't know. Pattinson is as long as he doesn't have to talk.
Pattinson's a hit or miss, but I really liked him in the 9/11 movie that he did. I forget what it was called. Remember Me. He did a movie called Remember Me. He was actually really good, like really, really good. But yeah, Batman I think was a big flop. I didn't care for that at all.
Yeah, it wasn't really a Batman movie.
Yeah, it was.
What's that, Steve?
I don't think he was bad in the Batman movie, but like you said, I don't think it was a Batman movie.
It wasn't written well. Yeah, I think he would have been fine had it been written differently. You know, or maybe I just got too spoiled with the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. That to me is to set the standard, you know, for superhero movies. Even though it didn't have all the techie stuff that they have today with CGI and stuff, I thought it was done super well, and I thought Christian Bale was phenomenal. But
yeah, well, so for me, I'll make a comparison. So, Batman was not a Batman movie the same way that Godzilla -1 was not a Godzilla movie. Right. So Batman was like a mystery, right? It's a detective mystery movie. And it just happened to have Batman in it. And then Godzilla -1 was really a family story about post World War Japan. And it just happened to have Godzilla in it. So that's.
I agree with
Steven, that. Since you're a DC guy, what did you think of The Flash, the movie?
No.
Thank you.
I love the series. So
I do too.
The casting just didn't sit right with me with Ezra Miller. I think Grant Gustin was my Flash, and obviously there was the Flash before him, but
I'll tell you what I get the most pleasure out of is the crossovers they did throughout the shows. I thought Supergirl was fantastic. They picked a really nice actress for that. I wish they would have done more, because I know they were going to do the Batgirl thing, but then that kind of derailed after the actress left, and it just seems like at the last few seasons everything started kind of going wrong. So, but the final crossover they did was fantastic.
Yeah, I love the crossover ending, but it definitely ran out of steam in the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they hung it up at the right time. Unfortunately, I think they could have gone a few more seasons with the Flash, maybe. But it was so methodical towards the end. It was like you knew it just got to that point, didn't it?
3 days ago 3 days ago was right. It was the day that the Flash went to the future. I guess February 3rd, 2024 was the day the Flash went to the future in the newspaper thing.
That is.
Oh yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah. I love those shows for sure. What are they doing now?
Speaking of Supergirl, Mike, they've cast a new Supergirl, right?
Oh, I know. It's the girl from House of the Dragon. I love
the young version of what's her face. The young.
They said that they've never. One of the director said that or somebody said that they never cast a lead before they cast a director, and they did in this case.
Huh.
I guess they wanted to get her in there,
Lock it in. Okay, let's plow through this stuff. Godzilla, I think I call this one out, versus Kong: The New Empire. Got to go there. Okay, here's one that might be a little out there. The Rebel Moon Part 2. I don't know if you guys watch Rebel Moon Part 1.
I will watch it just to see it through, but I thought there was a lot to be desired.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on this one.
Did you watch the Rebel Moon 1, Steven?
No, I didn't. I'll have to.
Yeah, it's like this for sure.
It's basically a failed Star Wars script that went to these people, and then they try to do something with it.
What it sounded like.
Yeah.
There is a movie called Challengers that I don't know anything about other than it has Zendaya in it. So 2 thumbs up, but I don't know anything about it. Zendaya, Mike Faced, and Josh O'Connor. Don't know. A movie called If that's got Ryan Reynolds, Caitlin Fleming, and Steve Carell. And I don't know anything about it, but the cast is like this, right?
Yeah, anything Ryan Reynolds, I'll watch it.
Okay. Well, so how do you feel about the whole soccer thing with Ryan Reynolds? Since you got some roots in that part of the world, right?
Yeah, and Wrexham was about 45 minutes from where I used to live. So
right. Yep.
My team is currently staring down the barrel of a relegation down to where Wrexham currently are.
Really? They're going to get relegated down? That's tough.
It looks like it. It's extremely depressing having to watch that for 2 hours today. But I kind of like the fact that it's bringing attention to lower leagues, because there's so much money at the top of the Premier League and that type of thing. So it's nice to see some of that cash starting to come down to the lower leagues, because it certainly doesn't go that way through the league situation the way it is. So
do you think he's treated Wrexham well? Do you because to me that's really important, that because people put a lot into the team, right?
Yeah, and it's a good area, it's a good team, and I think he's definitely they took the steps to really get to know the town and really, what do they call it, ingratiate themselves with the people. So I definitely think it's good for those guys how they did it.
Right on.
You know what movie is going to be off the chain this year, Giles?
Furiosa, Mad Max Saga.
Nah, Civil War.
Oh, what?
Civil War is going to get, because they really touch so close to what we actually could be happening here.
Is it some kind of documentary or something? Or
no, it's with what's her name? I'm looking at it right now. Kirsten Dunst and Nick Offerman. It's by the people from Ex Machina and Annihilation. It's like a science fiction guy that does it, But
Oh,
supposedly it's about the Civil War here in the United States, as if our country went into two things, and we're fighting each other, and it's chaos and madness.
okay. All right.
I'm
Interesting.
into it.
Like alternate future kind of thing or whatever. Possible future, crazy
Possible
future.
future.
Right on. No, I didn't see that one. But yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up. That seems interesting. But Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga is coming in, and I'm really excited for that. 2 thumbs
Yeah.
up.
I max them down.
Right on. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I don't know.
Is that going to be the last one of that trilogy?
There's like 7 or 8 of these suckers, isn't there?
Yeah.
It doesn't say in this little snip that I've got. It just has a picture of a chimpanzee with a falcon. So I don't know.
Maybe.
Hey Giles, I bet you want to watch Back in Black.
Back in Black.
It's an Amy Winehouse biopic, I think.
I'm not an Amy Winehouse fan. That's when I hear Back in Black, that's like AC/DC to me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That would have been actually been a really good AC/DC biopic.
Absolutely, it would have. Okay, there's a unnamed Deadpool movie which everybody is going to watch, and it's going to be freaking awesome. Even if it sucks, it's going to be amazing. There's looks like a sci-fi thing called Borderlands, which I think there was a TV show or a game. Maybe it was a game. Yeah. Borderlands.
There was 3 games, and there's a new game with the side character. So yeah, definitely a game.
So I'm going to give it thumbs up. Craven the Hunter. I think that's a Sony movie, maybe. But I'll give it 2 thumbs up.
Dude, Craven the Hunter's gonna be great. It's a Marvel flick.
Yeah, but I think it's a Sony Marvel flick.
Dude, right? You know who the lead guy is? Is Kick-Ass. The lead guy is Kick-Ass.
Really?
Yeah.
Aaron
remember the movie Kick-Ass with the green outfit? Looked like a dildo?
Yeah, that's the dude?
Yeah.
He grew up.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God. Something called Transformers 1, September 13th, with Chris Hemsworth and John Hamm, Scarlett Johansson.
I'm down.
That's an awesome cast.
Yeah. Guys, dude, look at this, dude. Ballerina. So it's a storyline of this. Okay. So for John Wick fans, this is a spin-off between the 3rd and the 4th, with Ana de Armas as the main character.
Okay. I'm completely down with that.
It's called Ballerina, and it's I guess Keanu's going to be in it too.
No way. Okay. There's a Untitled Venom sequel in November.
Super down. Down.
I'm super down.
Absolutely.
It's going to have I can't say his name, but the Chiwetel Ejiofor, that guy will be in there, and Juno Temple is in there.
Is that the guy that was in Gladiator 2 that Mike was talking about? Or
oh, maybe. The one else? No, that's a different guy.
I'm telling you, he's in every movie if you pay attention.
Untitled Karate Kid movie.
Oh, done. Cobra Kai is coming too.
If it's Cobra Kai guys, then maybe.
Cobra Kai. So this has Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio in it.
Oh, that's right. They're doing a cross pollination.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
What about Bad Boys 4? I don't know. I'm just not a big Will Smith fan after he went and slapped that dude in the face. Like,
I'm not. I don't know. We'll see.
I never watched 3.
I didn't watch 3 either.
I would have to rewatch 1, 2, and 3 to get caught up. But I don't know. Will Smith needs to step it up. He needs to start doing stuff again.
Isn't he going to do part 2 of when he's the last man on the world or whatever?
I think people keep teasing about that, but I don't know.
Yeah. The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, December 13th. I mean, I didn't even know this is a thing, but
I didn't know that was a thing either. Dude, 2024 is going to be my year, man.
It's not a Peter Jackson film though. It's directed by Kenji Kamiyama, whoever that is.
Oh, guys. Beverly Hills Cop Axel F on Netflix.
Absolutely. Have you
guys seen the trailer?
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Oh, the trailer's epic. It's all the same guys come back.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got to it right now. Dude, Eddie Murphy's going to be in it?
Of course.
Kevin Bacon?
Yes.
I'm all in. I'm all in for anything Eddie Murphy does. I don't care. All his stuff has sucked recently, but I'm still all in for Eddie Murphy because I just remember his good stuff from the past, and I know one day it
Dude,
can come back.
what do you guys think about the RoboCop we got in like 2013? What do you guys think about that one?
I had erased it from memory until you just brought it back up.
Yeah, it's not my RoboCop.
Do you feel like that's one of those movies that were done so good back in the 80s that they don't really need a rehash, or do you think they should be rehashed better? Because I mean, I'm kind of torn between the Judge Dredd thing. I love Judge Dredd, Sylvester Stallone, Kyle Urban, Keith Urban, whatever his name is. Not really. Didn't really hit for me.
I was gonna say, if I was to remake a Judge Dredd or a RoboCop, I'd go Judge Dredd. I think that they made RoboCop so well, and obviously some of the CGI, I guess we'll call it, from back then, it was awful, but it worked.
It worked so well.
It would be like them trying to remake Aliens now. And I don't want them to remake Aliens.
Dude, I remember watching RoboCop as a kid, and it genuinely scared me. Like, the movie was like terrifying, like just the murder scene and all this other stuff. I'm like, it was very, I was young. I was probably, 6 or 7 years old, and yeah, it was heavy duty. But yeah, the one that just happened, I actually rewatched it the other day. Actually, I was in the hotel in Albuquerque, and I was just trying to go to bed. I'm like, oh, maybe this will put me to sleep, and it was okay. Like, I do like the black RoboCop suit, and certain aspects of it was cool, but the acting was complete shit, and I just couldn't get into it. I don't know.
Right on. Okay, we've been going for an hour 22. And this is a good time for us to wrap.
You got to have a couple more movies for us. Come on, man.
No, we're gonna, unless you have something else to call out. I got nothing else. I mean, there's stuff like Ultraman Rising and Old Guard 2, Maxine, and stuff that I don't know anything about. So we've run through the ones that I know of. So if you got one, call it out, because we're at the end of the evening.
I guess that's good enough.
All right. Okay. So Steve, you had a look on your face.
I was just gonna say, is there a Secret Wars this year? Or is that going to be next year?
Oh, I didn't think it was this Secret Wars movie release. I have a comment on that too. Release date. May 7th, 2027. So no.
No, not this year.
We're not gonna get another proper Marvel movie for a long time. I don't know. I just the last one I really liked was Spider-Man.
Well, we get another Spider-Man this year.
Do we? I hope he fixes what he effed up.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last one we just got with the crossover with the other Spider-Man was fantastic. Just a great movie through and through. But I didn't expect that ending. The ending was shit.
So I'm down here in Florida. We had a thunderstorm that hit while I was in the movie, and we lost sound during the big fight scene where Aunt May kind of,
Oh no.
We had to leave. They had to send us back, and we'd seen half the movie. We saw Aunt May die with no sound. It was like,
oh god,
that's
terrifying.
Yeah, hopefully fix it. Plus, that way Giles will get more Zendaya.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm down. All right, so the one comment I was going to make about the Secret Wars thing is that, so in comic book world, Dr. Doom stole the powers of the Beyonder and created the battle planet, and that was kind of the genesis of the whole Secret Wars thing, right? Now they're talking about having Kang steal the Beyonder's powers and become Kang Beyonder and do it. And I'm not down with this whole Kang thing.
Well, they got to kind of replace the actor because he's in trouble.
Yeah, he's fired, right? Yeah. He's gone. Yeah. I would, if I were them, I would just take this as an opportunity to say, okay, things got messed up. We are stopping, and then introduce Dr. Doom, and then do everything the right way. And you've got 24, 25, and 26 to get everything set up, do a really nice arc, bring Dr. Doom in, and you could have it culminate in Secret Wars. Right.
Well, I'm going to be pissed if they don't do something with Moon Knight. Moon Knight was too good to just leave alone, Yeah. It was Oscar Isaac, right? That did it?
Yeah, Oscar Isaac.
Fantastic job. Well, there's so many villains they can work with. They can work with Doctor Doom. They haven't done anything with him. They haven't done anything with Ultimus. They haven't done anything with any of these guys that were like heavy hitters.
And they
in the
don't have the
comics.
X-Men in there yet, and they have to bring
They're-
all the
I think
mutants in.
I think that's what Deadpool's for, is maybe bridge the X-Men thing, perhaps.
But Deadpool isn't Marvel.
Oh, that's right. Deadpool's Marvel Sony still, isn't it?
Yeah. Unless this is where they kind of bring it in.
I thought that the whoever's doing the MCU stuff now was going to get access to all of the mutants, so all the X-Men, because Professor X was in that, I forget which movie it was, where he gets assassinated, right? Everybody just gets killed, right? I can't remember what it was.
Marvel Sony was on a roll until they did what's it called? The vampire.
Blade.
Pretty bad.
They kind of fell in there. It wasn't terrible. It's one of those movies I'll watch once and I won't buy on 4K, but it just didn't hit like the Venom and all that stuff.
Yeah, right on. Okay, everybody, this is it. We're gonna close her down. Steve, I have to offer you a great thanks for coming in and tell us all about Shelly, talk about home automation, and then bear with us as we go through our pop culture references for another 45 minutes. So thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure.
No, thanks for having me, guys. More than happy to come back and hopefully bring some better pop culture references.
Right, dude. I'll have you. I need to start doing my live streams again, but I might wait until the next couple months. But yeah, man, I'll have you on my show too. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and I'm gonna buy a bunch of Shelly stuff and start playing with it.
Yeah, happy to help you with whatever you need.
I'm sure I'll have a ton of questions. And Mike, thank you so much for coming on tonight. It's always good to have you back on the show to co-host. Anytime you want to come on, just let me know. I'm glad to have you.
Gives you a break from talking, right?
It does. No, it's good to have three people, right? So it really saves my moneymaker here a little bit. And then for everybody out in the audience, thank you for joining and watching. Your time is precious, so I appreciate you spending it with us. And with that, we're going to go ahead and call it a night. And as always, like, subscribe, share, ring the bell. Please follow Mike's channel on all of the socials, YouTube, Instagram, et cetera. And then Shelly, find those folks. I'll have links down below. You can check them out and buy a whole bunch of stuff because you need it in your house to make it better, because it makes it better. Just do it. And if you have any questions, Steve will hook you up with local integrators, information that you need, or anything to help you be successful with your endeavors.
Even if you don't need it, buy it because Steven's cool.
That's right. Just buy it. Just buy a whole bunch of it. Have a whole, and then just send it to me if you don't want it, because I'll totally implement it.
Yeah, give it to Joe.
Give it to me. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. See you guys in the next one.